Shalom, shalom, Israel. I want to first give all honor and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashima Mashiach Pomarak Yahushua. Yahweh is the name of the Father, who the world calls God, right? And Yahushua is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world only calls Jesus Christ, right? I want to give a strong shalom to all the mighty men that go out and teach and labor, right? That present their bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Lord, right? I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty Akwath, the sisters that are at home, reverencing their husbands, being teachers of good things, tender, delicate, and on fire for the Lord. I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty teenagers and children in this thing as well, that's doing all they can to make their calling and election sure in the last days. All right, Brother Tazamah coming at you with another video through the Spirit. Now, the topic of this video, as you can see, is titled "Evils Are Multiplying on the Earth." That's the title of this video. Evils are multiplying on the earth. If you didn't know, in 2021, evils didn't multiply since last year, right? Evils are continually multiplying every day, every minute, every hour, every second. Tomorrow is going to be more evil on the earth than it was today. That's just how the Lord has it out. Now, if you're not diligent, if you're not on fire, if you're not fervent, if you're not abounding in the work of the Lord, guess what? These evil spirits on the left-hand side, they're going to overtake you. All right? I'm going to say that again. If you're not diligent, if you're not abounding in the work of the Lord, if you're not making your calling and election sure, sister, brother, teenager, child, it don't matter. If you're not doing these things, these evil spirits on the left-hand side will overtake you. All right? It's only a matter of time, because the Lord has set these evils, he has gave them a commandment to increase, right? So like it. Right, so I want to get this in Second Esdras. Right, we're gonna kick it off with Second Esdras, the 5th chapter. These evil spirits, they're commanded to increase in the last days, right? And these evil spirits, they chiefly work for the Most High, so they can't buck up against the words of the Lord. They can't say, Most High, I don't want to increase. I don't want to cause destruction. I don't want to sift men out. No, they have a strict order sent in the third heaven by the Most High God to increase in the last days. All right, let me get this in the book of Second Esdras, the 5th chapter. All right, this is Second Esdras, chapter 5, and verse number 2. It says, "But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago." See that? So the Lord said iniquity is going to be increased above that which thou hast seen. So it's crazy, because the iniquities that you see right now, these are just the beginning. Right? You walk to the store. I remember one time I walked to the store, and then as soon as I walk in, I told myself, you got to be in and out. Right? I don't even like leaving the house, but I kind of told myself, you got to be in and out in the store. As soon as I walk in the store, you had Jake trying to get down with Eve, seducing her, saying, you pretty. Why don't you just give me your number? So that's right off the bat. As soon as I walk in the store, I come back out the store, you got Jake outside trying to have me buy a shirt. And I told myself, I'm gonna get in and out. Next thing you know, I was out there for 10 minutes telling his brother I wasn't trying to buy a shirt, and he was all getting upset. And these are the evils we talking about. That Jake that was in the store trying to seduce Eve, he didn't want to marry her, right? We just gonna get straight to the point. He didn't want to, how are you doing? Can I meet your father? I'm interested in, trying to court you. No, that Jake in the store, he wanted to have a one-night stand with that woman, right? Cause we used to be a Jake in the world, so we know. All right, these evils, they not nothing to play with, right? We talk about the transgenders, right? The homosexuals, the these effeminate men. Yes, we talk about them, but it's one thing to actually see and interact with. You got to interact with these men on a job. You brothers might have certain jobs. You have to interact with transgenders, and Esau think it's normal. You could just talk to him. He's a really good person. You should get to know him. No, we not getting to know him, man. We don't want to know him. You got to interact with trannies. Hey, my boss, my Edomite boss, this was like last week. I'm literally working, and he called the dude right next to me pretty. He called another man pretty. Two grown men. One grown man called this man pretty in front of my face. All right. Then he tried to hug me. My Edomite boss tried to hug me. And I kind of, I had to kind of get up, push him back. But I really wanted to, I wanted to kind of do something. I wanted to kind of, kind of beat him up. But I had to, use wisdom. So these are the evils we're seeing. And it's only the beginning, right? You got to worry about your Edomite boss trying to hug you. You sisters, you might have to deal with evil spirits hopping on people at your so-called job. Sisters, and these spirits, they hop on people in the truth as well. Don't just think these evil spirits hop on people in the world and that's it. They hop on your mom, your dad, your cousins. No. Hey, these people, hey, they hop on these evil spirits hop on people in the truth. Nah, brother not showing up to camp no more. The brother had an evil eye towards you. You can't correct that brother no more. He get in his feelings. Then he stopped talking to you. Right? Brothers, sisters get a spirit on them. Now they talking to every man in the camp after they have a husband. These things happen. Right, I'm going to read that again. 2nd Ezra 5:2. We not making this up, man. And I'm going to say again, the scary part is this is only just the beginning. God forbids how it would be 5 years from now if we still here. 5 years from now, God forbid we still here, it might be legal for a 30-year-old man to walk with a 5-year-old boy and they in a relationship. Right? So this 2nd Ezra 5:2 again. It says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest. So that the iniquity that you see right now, the sins, the blasphemies, they're going to be increased. And you could see it. You could feel it in the air. Right? I don't know about y'all, but every day I wake up, I feel it. As soon as you walk outside to go to work, somebody downstairs literally, my neighbors downstairs, they getting drunk. 8 a.m. in the morning. I go out to work, they saying weird stuff. Right? These are the things you got to worry about. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Somebody already off drinking damn tequila, man. Hennessy, vodka, in the morning time. Right? It says what? Or that which thou hast heard long ago. And that's crazy, because all the wickedness you heard long ago is going to be more than that. And it's some wickedness in the ancient world. Right? We read Genesis the 19th chapter, going into Lot and those wicked men that tried to rape him. The Lord said evil is going to be increased above that. Right? You're not going to have angels to protect you. It's just going to be, it is what it is. Right? Let me get this in 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter. Right? That's the spirit. This 2nd Ezra, chapter 4 and verse number 30. It says, for the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. Right? So Adam, on a deeper fold, people wonder why all the time, why did Adam sin? Adam was in paradise. He was above, he was the top man. Why did he do this? On a deeper level, Adam was already programmed to go off. That's why he got seduced by his woman. On a deeper fold, he was already programmed to from the beginning. The Most High put an evil seed in the back of Adam's head, and that's what caused the fall of man. It says what? And how much ungodliness hath it brought up until this time? See that? So how much more, all the way from the time of Adam until now, how much more ungodliness shall it bring forth? You got Esau down, he in a basement with his cat, and his cat making noises down there, right? And we're not gonna go too much, but we know what he's doing with that cat. And people normalize it like it's okay. Some of this stuff is not, being a homosexual is not okay. But we don't care. We don't care if you flag the channel. We just gonna put it out there. If you are homosexual, that's not okay. Right? If you are an adulterer, that's not okay. People put out these movies like The Adulterer. They put it on the TV shows, right? They put it in front of your face to try to make it seem like it's okay. Your son playing with a girl Barbie doll. Come on now. We know that. We see right through it. Only a wise man would see right through it though. Right, let me get the classic in Proverbs. 22nd chapter. Alright. This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil. A prudent is a wise man. Again, a wise man, he's gonna foresee the evil. He's gonna know the prophecies coming to pass. He's gonna know evils are gonna multiply in the earth. He knows these things. It says what? And hide of himself. So only a wise man will foresee the evil and hide of himself. Meaning what? He's gonna stay out the way. He's gonna read those extra chapters. He's gonna study that extra hour. He's gonna pray that extra time before he goes to sleep and when he wakes up. These are the characteristics of a wise man. And he's gonna hide himself. Meaning what? On another fold, he's gonna always be in the spirit of the Most High. He's gonna be in the spirit. He's not gonna be after the flesh. It says what? But the simple pass on and are punished. And you don't want to be a simple man in this truth, right? You don't want to be a simple woman in this truth. You want to be a wise man and a wise woman. So you got to take heed to these evils, right? It says, and you're right, I feel it from the moment the Most High wakes me up. God. Hey, the brother said, and you're right, I feel it from the moment the Most High wakes me up. Wakes me till the time I go to bed at night. See that? And you can't make this up. You literally can't make this up. Every time I wake up, I say, damn, man. You gotta worry about, literally, it could be on a weekend, on a Sabbath, it could be 10 o'clock in the morning. The next door neighbors, they getting drunk. And when they get drunk, it's not just, oh, they getting drunk. No, they playing music, right? Here you have it. You know, you got some men, they trying to get up and read. They trying to study in the morning. And guess what? The neighbors blasting the music, right? They blasting some Mario and some 2 Chainz, right? And some Drake and some old classics. Now, a simple man, this will be a simple man. Oh, they just playing music. Just let them do their thing. Everybody can't have fun. No, that's Satan. You got to recognize Satan when it's Satan. You can't just say, well, that's a coincidence. That's like my Edomite boss calling another man pretty. That's just like me saying, well, he probably does think he's handsome. Or he's just probably joking. No, that's a spirit, man. You don't have to see a spirit, a ghost physically hop on somebody to know they have a spirit on them, an evil spirit. No, you could watch the way, you know, people act and how the way they move if they have an evil spirit on them. Just like Saul, right? Saul didn't know he had an evil spirit on him until you start seeing the things Saul started to do. He started trying to kill David, envy David. And the thing is, these evil spirits, they know who you are. Some men, right? Let's get that in the book of Acts. Some men, these evil spirits know who you are, right? Yes, you that's watching. Hey, these evil spirits on the left-hand side, they might know who you are, right? That's the spirit. It's the book of Acts, chapter 19 and verse 13. It says, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahushua, saying, we adjure you by Yahushua whom Paul preacheth. See that? So you had certain of these men that were exorcists. They tried to cast out these evil spirits in the name of the Lord. When they saw Paul doing it, it says verse 14, and there were 7 sons, one Shkeva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know. See that? So they said, we know who Yahushua is, the Son of Man. We best believe we know. Yahushua created those evil spirits. So they, by default, are going to automatically know Yahushua. And they say, Paul we know. These spirits might know you. They literally, they know what time you go to sleep. They know what time you wake up in the morning, right? Some of these spirits, they watch you. They say, okay, he gets up around 7 a.m. Let me work on his mind to have him not pray in the morning. Next thing you know, you wake up. You got some in the back of your head saying, you don't have to pray in the morning. Just go up, brush your teeth. Go wash your face. You can pray later. That's not a coincidence. Stop thinking everything is a coincidence. No, that's these evil spirits on the left-hand side that's increasing. And what I mean they're increasing, meaning they're getting stronger. That weed demon, guess what? It's 10 times stronger now. Adulterer demon, that's 10 times stronger now. And they're multiplying, meaning they're increasing in mass number. You see a mass number of people going to concerts now. That evil music spirit, it's increasing. You wonder why you listening to NBA Youngboy and you want to go kill somebody. That's the spirits that's working on these people's minds. And they don't know what to do. Right? But let me read on. In Acts 19. It says, but who are ye? And some of these evil spirits, they don't know you. They don't know certain men. Meaning what? Certain men are below these evil spirits. It says, verse 15, and the evil spirit, it says, verse 16, and the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them. You don't want to be the man or woman to have these evil spirits overcome you. Don't think they don't have to overcome you. Right? We just brought out literally that these evil spirits have a commandment by the Most High. They have to listen to the Lord. Right, let me get this real fast. We're gonna go back to Acts 19. But let me get this in Psalms 121. That might be Psalms 120 and verse 3. Right? Let me get this in Psalms chapter 120. Right? It's like that might be Psalms 103 and verse 20. Right? God. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 103 and verse 20. Bless the Lord, ye his angels, that excel in strength. Right? Because the angels, they're mighty. They're going to excel in strength. It reads, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. See that? So that the angels, they do the commandments of the Most High. Now you have right-hand angels like Michael, Uriel, Raphael, chief angels on the right-hand side. And guess what? You have evil angels as well. All right, let's get a precept. Somebody might ask, show me in the Bible where an evil angel is. I want to know. Well, we're gonna go to it. All right, Psalm 78 and 49. Right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 78 and verse 49. He casts upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath in the nation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. So you have evil angels in the Bible. You don't, this, the Lord said in Proverbs 11 and 1, a false balance is abomination unto the Lord. So you don't just have righteous angels and that's it. Now you have evil angels on the left-hand side. And guess what? They can overcome you like they overcame these men in the Acts 19, the 19th chapter. Are we going to go back to Acts 19? So you got to ask yourself, what are you doing to have these spirits not overcome you? Are you fasting more? Are you reading more? You got to go that extra mile. Because if you're not increasing, these evil spirits, they're going to overtake you. We just brought out, they do his commandments. They have a commandment to increase and apply more wickedness on the earth. So they're going to obey the voice of the Lord. So if you're not increasing, these evil spirits, it's only a matter of time, but they going to overtake you. All right. So going back to Acts 19 at verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them. And that's what happens. All right, you hear stories all the time about men falling out the truth, women falling out the truth. It was just this sister in a group chat. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna pull it up. Cause you might have some brothers and sisters, they might think we be making this up. All right, now this is real. Now I don't know if y'all can see this, but the brother sent this in a group chat earlier. All right, because people think we make this up when people fall out the truth. All right, I'm gonna pull it up. This on so-called Facebook. It says, I don't know if y'all can see it. You could say a kind in the chat if you could see this, Baba Kashar. All right, if y'all can read it, might be upside, might be backwards. All right, but guess what it says? It says officially done being in the truth. That's what she said. This is a woman. Now, I don't know who this is. I don't know her name, but she said officially done with being in the truth. See that? It says officially done being in the truth. It was better when I didn't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful the Most High chose to wake me up. But after 12 years, I'm realizing this is not my lot. I love y'all though, Israel, and appreciate all with reaching out and praying for me and feeding me scriptures. Shalom. Now, I don't know if this is real or not. This could be fake. But more than likely, this is real. This is what she said today. For the brothers and sisters that think we be making this up, you have people falling out the truth every day. These evil spirits are taking people every day. It says what? Today is the day I walk away from the truth and live my life, sick of suffering and being too conscious. It was better when I didn't know. See that? She said, I'm done with the truth. Guess what? Guess what? Those evil spirits overtook that woman. All right. Now, hey, that's on the group chat. I didn't make this up. I didn't write that post. That somebody literally posted that today. And those are the evil spirits that's working on people's minds and overtaking them. All right, so back to Acts 19. Acts 19 and 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. See that? So these men, they tried to cast out the evil spirit, but they wasn't built up. They tried to basically get them a name or think they had something that they didn't. And guess what? These evil spirits, they overtook these men so that they went outside. Imagine running out your house right now with no clothes on. Hey, that's what these spirits could do. Right? When you read Mark the 5th chapter, Legion was on that man and he was cutting himself in the mouths. He was scratching. He was foaming at the mouth. Hey, these people think these evil spirits nothing to play with. Right? This stuff, and really, I'm gonna say it again. It's kind of scary because this is only the beginning. This not even, the Lord said this is the beginning of sorrows. So we haven't even seen nothing yet. You might think people falling out the truth is bad. You see wickedness at your job every day. You see homosexuals. And you might think that's bad, but the Lord said this is just the beginning of sorrows. Right? So let's go back to 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter. Right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and verse 30. Right? It reads, "For the grain of evil seed that have been sown in the heart of man of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have it brought up unto this time, and how much shall they yet bring forth until the time of threshing come." See that? And these, hey, it get to the point, man. You gonna start to hate it here. It's only if you been in the truth for a certain amount of time and you actually see these things and linking up with the Bible, people scoffing at you, people laugh. Now we know it's gonna happen, but after a while of it just happening, man, and you start to hate America, right? You literally start to hate America. And if you brothers and sisters don't hate America, you just don't talk to me. All right. Now you got some brothers, they love it here. They love it in America. In the truth, they love it in America. Everything's going good, right? They rib might be cooking for them. No, we hate it here. We hate it in America. And if you don't hate it in America, guess what? Don't talk to me. All right. You could go do what you want to do. Don't say nothing to me, man. Right? You got certain men, they really want to, give up the ghost right now. Right? They working 3 overtimes back to back mandatory. So if they don't come in, they gonna get fired. They have to come in. It's not if they don't, they have to come in. Back to back 3 overtimes. You got women, they getting evicted. They're not paying their rent. All hell is breaking loose on the earth. You got homosexuals trying to. I remember I was at camp one time. We were setting up for camp, and it was this homosexual dude. He was walking past, and he gave me that look, like that what's up look. All right. Now he didn't say nothing to me, but he gave me that look. Hey, I wanted to scream at him. I told him that's wickedness. He had to repent, but I wanted to scream, man. Imagine a homosexual men trying to get on that with you while you at camp. Here you have it. You trying to do the work of the Lord, and you got a man looking at you up and down. That make you want to punch a wall. That literally make you want to pluck out your hair, man. Hey, but yeah, you got men that love it here. Right? Let me bring this up. Right, this is wickedness. Right? This the book. What I want. God. Right? I want 2nd Ezra 14 and 16. I'm starting to get angry right now. Right? You have madness. You got coons at an all-time high. Coons was never at an all-time high like this. Issachar cooning out for Esau at the job. Anything Esau say, Issachar, he okay. Esau say go jump off a bridge. You got Issachar saying, okay, go jump off a bridge. Just cooning. Let me bring this out, right? This second Esdras, chapter 14 and verse 16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. Right? And that links up right with second Esdras 5 and 2. It says, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age. See that? So the more that the world or the earth grows old, it's gonna get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker until the time that the kingdom of heaven is established. So tomorrow, November 10th, the world is gonna get one more step weaker. Everything is waxing worse. The men, they wax worse. Our bodies is not how it used to be in the ancient world. You have King David in Psalms, the 18th chapter, 29. David was able to jump over a wall. You got Jakes right now, they're not able to jump over a fence. They try to bunny hop a fence, they get caught by the police. Adam had the dominion over all animals. And you got Jake right now running from a pit bull. Right? So man has lost his youth. Right? That's second Esdras. Let me get that in second Esdras, the 5th chapter. Right? Let's get that in second Esdras, the 5th chapter. This is second Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 52. I'm going to start at verse 51. And he answered me and said, ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, wherefore are not they whom thou hast now brought forth like those that were before, but less of stature? So Uriel is telling Ezra to inquire of a woman because she has some type of knowledge when it comes forth. And it's beautiful how the Lord use parabolic things on a physical level to link up with the scriptures. So men that were before us, right, they were more in greater stature. We're coming after those men, Abraham, Lot, Moses. So we're going to, of course, be less of stature. It says, and she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, are otherwise. See that? Even on a physical level, a woman that has a child at a younger age, more than likely that child is going to be stronger than a woman at 60 years old right now in 2021. She has a child, and she might have a miscarriage. That's because her womb is failed. She's old. It says, consider therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you. See that? So men on the earth right now, everything, not just the men, the animals, they're less of stature. The food, they're less of stature as well. The damn, what else? Animals, food, women, they're less of stature. Everything is less than stature. The trees are less than stature. And the trees, when you read literally Ezekiel, the 31st chapter, Adam was likened it to a cedar, right? That was literally taller than all the other trees. If you look up a cedar right now in the ancient world, and those cedars of Lebanon was pretty tall, man. Taller than, some of these buildings. Now the trees, the bushes are withering, and you don't see butterflies. When was the last time y'all seen a butterfly? You don't see butterflies no more. I haven't seen a butterfly. It's been a minute. You don't see those white butterflies you used to see as a kid. You don't see those no more. You barely see dragonfly. The whole earth is polluted. Esau making the penguins go extinct. These animals are, the world is less of stature. Right? Reading on. And so are they that come after you less than ye. So let's say if I have a child, in my child's generation, they're going to be less of stature than me. It's just going to be an everlasting cycle. It says, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Right? That's it on that. So let me go back to 2nd Esdras 14. So the earth is getting weaker through age. Right? 2nd Esdras 14 and verse 17. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. And that's scary. So many more evils that we haven't even seen. We can't fathom. They're going to increase upon men that are on the earth. But if you have faith and believe that the Lord is going to deliver you, you have nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about Esau trying to hug you at your job. You don't have to worry about the so-called white man coming in with the tanks. I'm going to get destroyed. No, you have to have faith. And faith coming by hearing. You have to constantly build up your faith every day. The more you read, brothers and sisters don't know, the more you read, you build up your faith. The more you hear these words, right? You see in the exhortation, the more you do these things, you're building up your faith. All right? And the faith is what's going to deliver you in these times of evil. Let me get that in Romans, the 10th chapter. Right? Right? It's the book of Romans. It's like it. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 10, I believe. 2 Corinthians chapter 10. Right. Salakia. Salakia, bear with me. I'm trying to look for this precept. Right. It was Romans. Right. It's the book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 17. It says, so then faith cometh by hearing. See that? So the more you want to build up your faith, the more you increase in the faith, not only by praying, but faith cometh by hearing. So you could literally hear the discourse of a godly man and receive faith. It says, in hearing by the word of God. See that? So faith cometh by the word of God. The more you read, you study, you watch the videos, you go to count, you give alms, you abounding in the work of the Lord. That's the more your faith are going to increase. And in the times of these evils, you're going to need faith. And you gotta be a watchman. Right? We always say you gotta be a watchman. That's not only mean watching the people. That's not only mean being your brother's keeper. Now you gotta be a spiritual. You gotta watch these evil spirits, how they kind of attack you. You know you have a problem. You know you can't be around men that smoke weed. Hey, you gotta spot that, and you gotta remove yourself. Right? Let me get this in the book of Galatians. Right? Just the book of Galatians, chapter 6, chapter 5, and verse number 25. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. So see that? So you gotta, if you say you live in the Spirit, you in this truth, guess what? You gotta walk in the Spirit at all times. And you gotta be in the Spirit at all times. You gotta literally spot these evil. Okay, nah, I can't do that. Now let me just stay at home. Let me just do this. The more you spot these, oh nah, you got a spirit on it, right? You gotta spot these evil spirits and remove it. Get away. You might feel a spirit of pride come upon you. Guess what? You might have to cut yourself up, cause I'm subject to get evil spirits on me if I'm not being diligent and holding my fear in the Lord, right? These spirits could come upon me if I'm not diligent. So if these spirits start to creep up on you, you got to kind of go to the scriptures. Okay, you know what? Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. And you kind of cut yourself up. Or guess what? These spirits, they gonna overtake you. Just like the evil spirit overtook Saul. Saul couldn't do nothing about it. Saul couldn't say, you know what, Mosai, why you put a spirit on me? No. Saul had to deal with it. And Saul was mighty, right? A lot of people, they say King Saul was a bad guy in the Bible. Hey, at one point in time, Saul, he was prophesying with those prophets when you read 1 Samuel, the 10th chapter. Hey, let me get that in 1 Samuel, the 10th chapter. Right? It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 10, and verse 10. And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him, and the Spirit of God came upon him, and he prophesied among them. Right? So Saul came to see a company of prophets, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon him, and he went to go prophesy. It says what? Verse 11. And it came to pass, when all that knew him before saw that, behold, he prophesied among the prophets. Then the people said one to another, what is this that is come unto the son of Kish? Right? Because Saul was the son of Kish when you read 1 Samuel, the 9th chapter. It said, is Saul also among the prophets? And they kind of saying that. Is Saul among the prophets? That's King Saul. He prophesied. You know how Jake is. Jake kind of hype you up. He said, so yeah, Saul among the prophets now. Right? It says, verse 12. And one of the same place answered and said, but who is their father? Therefore, it became a proverb. Right? Just like you have a proverb, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Right? This became a proverb. It says, is Saul also among the prophets? See that? They like, hey, Saul a prophet now. He out there prophesying with the So Saul was mighty. Hey, you might be mighty right now. You might know the scriptures, the precepts. You might be able to break things down. You sisters, you might be in the sisterhood real well. Sisters look up to you. They always ask you for the precepts. How do you do this? How do you go about this with your marriage? But guess what? One thing with King Saul, a spirit overtook him. All right, let's get that, the classic, right in 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter. It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, and verse 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul. Right there, so the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of the Most High, it departed from Saul. It left him. And then what? And an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. See that? Verse 15 mean. It says, and Saul's servants said unto him, behold, now an evil spirit from God troubled thee. So a King Saul, his own servants knew that he had a spirit on him. They say, he Saul, you got a spirit on him. Yo, you gotta chill. It says, verse 16, let our Lord now command thy servants which are before thee to seek out a man who is a cunning player or an heart. And it shall come to pass when the evil spirit of God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand and thou shalt be well. See that? So Saul kind of listened to him. So Saul was one point at time mighty. He got an evil spirit on him. Now let's see the latter end of Saul. Let's go to 1 Samuel, chapter 28. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 28, and I'm going to start at verse 6. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him, not neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. See that? So the Lord wasn't dealing with Saul anymore. Verse 7. Then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her. So we just read that Saul was prophesying among the prophets. He was mighty at one point in time. Now we ain't all the way at the latter end of Saul. Guess what? Saul, he went to go seek a familiar spirit, meaning somebody that's familiar with spirits on the left-hand side. He went to go seek a witch. Now, how did King Saul? He was a king. How did he go from being a king and a prophet to now he's seeking a witch? Well, that could happen if you're not diligent, if you're not abounding in the work of the Lord. These evil spirits, they have no time, they don't have no problem with taking over you and pulling you back in the world. We just brought it up. The sister said she on a what's her name, she said, I'm done with this truth. It's too hard for me. Right? Let me get this in Luke, the 22nd chapter. So you brothers and sisters, you got to be spiritual watchmen in this thing. You got to see these evil spirits and hide yourself, unless you be overtaken. Right? This is Luke chapter 20, 22 and verse 3. Right? We have Judas Iscariot. We all know about Judas Iscariot. And he was numbered amongst the 12. And the Lord called Judas Iscariot in Matthew the 26th chapter. He said, friend. So he was a friend of the Lord. Right? This is Luke 22 and verse 3. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. See that? So Judas is Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, he worked on Judas Iscariot's mind. And it said he was numbered among the 12. Meaning at one point in time, the Lord saw something in him. On a deeper level, it was already set up for him to betray Yahushua, but he was numbered amongst the 12 disciples of the Lord. All right, not everybody could have been a 12 disciple of the Lord. Right, you had Joseph of Arimathea. The Lord could have chose Joseph of Arimathea to be one of the 12. He didn't do that. He chose Judas. Guess what? The spiritual demon Satan hopped on Judas Iscariot and overtook his mind. Right? So evils is multiplying. Right? I got another video I wanted to pull up. Right? You got people. Oh yeah, that's madness too. See that? This is what's his name? This is Charles Barkley. He's kissing another man. This is what we have to deal with in America. Right? You have to deal with this every day. Now you got some people, they think that's they just friends. Or they're best friends. No, this is wickedness. This is sick. Right? Like the brother said, that's sick. But you got people, they think that's normal. And that's gonna be the ultimate division. It's going to come down to the servants of the Lord, the people, the men and children and women of the Most High versus the ungodly. I had something else, but let me get this real fast in Malachi the 3rd chapter. That's sick. That'll make me scream. If I see that in real life, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to scream as loud as I can and punch the wall. Right? This the book of Malachi. Chapter 3. It's the book of Malachi, chapter 3, and verse 18. And you brothers and sisters have to have discernment in the truth. And in the last days, discernment is very important because you could discern between what's right and what's bad. What's wisdom is what's not wisdom. What's this and what's that, right? You have to have discernment. And you got to pray for discernment. There's nothing wrong with praying that the Most High give you the spirit of discernment. Right? This is Malachi 3 and verse 18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked. And you brothers and sisters, you have to discern between the righteous and the wicked. Between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. Right? So it's up to you to discern a man that serves the Most High, that's keeping the commandments, that's diligent, getting his household in order. And you women, you have to discern other women and men as well. Because this sister reading, Is this sister is this sister still in the world? You gotta discern this. Does this sister have a spirit on her? And you gotta discern the men that want to serve the Most High. And that's what it's gonna come to. It don't matter about family, friends. You can forget all about that. At the end of the day, it's coming down between a man that serves the Lord and a man that don't serve the Most High. Right? But I had another one. It's so much madness, man. You can't make this up. It was this video. Might have to find it on YouTube. But basically, long story short, you had this woman. She basically she is in a relationship with her son. All right, woman and relationship with son. This is a real woman. Here we go, right here. She fell in love with her son.
At first, I told Carlos that I'm sorry. I don't know how you react to this. I'm your mom and you're my son, and I am falling in love with him. He said, "Are you really?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "You know what? I was scared to let you know too. I am too." He
See that? Man, since she just said I'm falling in love with my son. You can't make this up. This is not a movie. This is real life. Right? This is literally not a movie, man. She said I'm falling in love with my son. And he is too. Right?
With me, with his mom, and I was falling in love with my son. And then we ended up talking, and we took off to the park, and we ended up asked him, "Will you ever date your mom?" And he said, "Will you date your son?" I said, "Honest truth, yes, I would. Because 19 years, you're the best thing that ever happened to me, and I really want to be with you the rest of my life." And I really want to be with them. It's kind of hard right now, but I don't care what people say, because we're going through a lot right now. We try to keep it a secret, but we couldn't do it no more because, my other kids found out.
This is madness. This is madness. Right, let me get this in the law. Right? You got people thinking that that's normal. I mean, he's just a mama's boy. No, that is wickedness. That is exceeding wickedness. Right? Let me get this in the law. If somebody showed me this video and say, "Oh, he's just a mama's boy," I'm going to slap the phone at his hand. Right? This is wickedness. This is not nothing to play with. We are living in the end of the world. You got some men, oh no, we got like 50 more years. If a brother said we got 50 more years, we gonna have to, we might have to rumble. All right. If we got 50 years, then he kind of pat you on the shoulder. He said we got 50 more years. Sit down. You kind of trying to stand up. He said sit down. We got 50 more years. We don't have 50 more years in this place, Lord willing. All right. If you don't see right now, this place is done. He said, I think Kodak Black was feeling. Oh yeah. Kodak Black, man. He was kind of feeling on his moms when they was dancing. That's evil. Right, let me get this in Leviticus. Right, the 18th chapter. This is Leviticus chapter 18 and verse. I want verse. I'm gonna start at verse 6. I'm gonna start at verse 7. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. See that? You can't be doing these. These things are contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments and the ordinances. We don't care what man says. And those people, they have a demon working on their mind saying, you know what, my son, I am falling in love with my son. And the son said, I always been a mama's boy. and I'm falling in love. What did God say? Like, we gotta start asking people, what did the Lord say? People don't believe in the Most High no more. That's why I wanted to finish out real fast. Let me finish out 2nd Ezra 14. Right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14. Right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 17. It reads, "For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. For the truth is fled far away." And that's what's happening. The truth is far away. People is not going to bring up the law and go into the law and say, you know what, that's wrong against God. We had a Jake at camp. I believe it was like 3 weeks ago. I told him you can't be with you're not supposed to be with the woman of the other nations. And he kind of said, I said, you know, that's what God said. He said, F God. He said, F what God said. So the truth is far fled. Men don't care. They don't care no more. These men, these women, they don't care no more. They want to do things that please the flesh, the body, the sin. These men don't care anymore. They don't care what God says. Some people, they don't believe in the most. You'll hear them that I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the Most High. And that's why the Most High has to judge this place for all the abominations. Right? It reads, "And leasing is hard at hand, for now hasteth the vision to come, which thou hast seen." And it get deep in verse 20. Verse 20, it says, "Behold, Lord, I will go as thou hast commanded me, and reprove the people which are present." And that's the only thing we could do. Only thing we could do is exhortate the men, give advice, reprove our people. It says, "But they that shall be born afterward, who shall admonish them? Thus the world is set in darkness, and they that dwell therein are without light." See that? See, everybody in this world, they're in darkness right now. And a generation of, this is the last generation, but that's just to say I will have kids and my kids will have kids. Guess what? They're gonna be more in darkness. They're without light. They don't know the commandments. You ask a woman, what is the land Sabbath? They don't know is. Go ask Eve at the job, what is the land Sabbath? She don't know what that's going into. She don't know what Leviticus the 25th chapter is going into. You tell her, hey sis, you unclean when you're on your flower. She gonna look at you. Eve gonna look at you like you crazy. These people don't know the laws of the Lord. And the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. Right? That's Psalms 19:7. So these people, they don't know the laws. I'm gonna read that again. It says, "Thus the world is set in darkness, and they that dwell therein are without light." See that? So the men, women that dwell in this world, they're without light right now. What is the light? The light is the commandments. That's Proverbs 6:23. It says, verse 21, "For thy law is burnt, therefore no man knoweth the things that are done of thee, or the works that shall begin. And no man knows the works of the Most High." Like I said, go in your job, and even with the Sabbath day, you ask certain people, y'all know what the Sabbath day is? They don't know. The women, mostly these women, because they single parent moms, they're not teaching their kids what is the Sabbath. All right, and these are the laws. These laws make you holy. Certain things you start to stand out when you start keeping these laws. When you start keeping the ordinances of the Most High, you start to stand out. People start to look at you different. We just read in 1 Samuel the 10th chapter, people made a proverb about King Saul because he was out there prophesying. Right? So at the end of the day, it's coming to what? Him that serveth the Lord and him that don't serve the Lord. Well, let me get this in Sirach, the 14th chapter. Right? the book of Sirach, chapter 14, and verse number 'Salakia. Bear with me. I ain't pull this precept in a minute. Lead us, Sirach. Might be Sirach 19. All right, Lord willing, that precept come back to me. All right. Prosperity. All right, Lord willing, that precept come back to me, right? But the point is, you're gonna have to discern evil men with a spiritual eye, and men of the Most High, and women of the Most High in the last days, right? As you can see, let me get this in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. The time is short. We don't have a lot of time left, right? The days are at an all-time high. I was just talking about this with the Akim yesterday. Hey, the days is going by like that, man. Right? It's gonna be the feast. It's gonna be Passover in 4 months. Passover finna already be here if we still here. We got the Feast of Dedication coming up. The month of November, it felt like it was just damn August yesterday. November finna be over with. The time is short, man. Let me get this in 1 Corinthians 7 and 29. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. And the time is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. The days are getting shorter than ever. Evil, if you haven't known again, guess what? It's multiplying at an all-time high. We just brought up various accounts. You got women saying I'm in love with my son, right? You got the Edomite boss. He's calling other men pretty. And you got kids scoffers now, literally. You have 9-year-old scoffers now saying, oh, go read that Bible. Why you reading that Bible? Hey, little kids, man, too. It's not just these men. No, these kids is evil too, man. It's not a coincidence that I know knowledge shall be increased, but you have 7-year-old girls walking around with an iPhone 12 in their hand, saying, hello, where you at? And they only 7 years old. You can't tell me this is out of order. If brother saying it was a video, she had to be like 7 or 8, but there was this girl. She was in the back seat, and she kind of had her mom phone, and she was taking pictures, of her body, and her mom found out, and she got a whooping, right? So you got little kids, and they sending, inappropriate photos. 9 years old, sending inappropriate photos. You got these kids, they want to gangbang now, 10 years old, with a gun. What, you 10 years old, what are you doing with a gun? But let me get this in Proverbs, the 20th chapter. So these kids is not off the hook either, man. These kids got spirits on them as well, right? This is Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 11. It says, even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure or whether it be right. See that? So a child, even a child is known by his doings. Don't say, he wouldn't hurt a fly, right? That's Lil Leak John, all right? Or that's Lil Man. He wouldn't hurt a no. These kids is evil. We was at camp one time, and they had to be in high school. These kids, they was kind of scoffing at. They was kind of talking about us. They was talking about our boots we had on. Why y'all wearing boots? Y'all got bandanas on y'all head. Talking about our beards. Hey, so these kids is evil as well, man. All right, so nobody's exempt. in the last days, you're gonna have to discern men that serve the Most High and men that don't serve the Most High, right? So let me get a few more precepts, right? It's the book of Malachi, chapter 2, and verse number 16. For the Lord, the God of Israel, said that he hateth putting away, for one covereth violence with his garment, said the Lord of hosts. Therefore, take heed to your spirit, right? So you brothers and sisters got to take heed to your spirits in the last day. Yes, your spirit. I got to take heed to my spirit, right? Because these evil spirits, man, they run and ramp. They running on a loose. They out of control. And they will overcome you. Don't think they won't, right? They will overcome you and overtake you and start working on your mind. Guess then you won't. Guess next thing you know, not only is you back in the world, but you dealing with a transgender in the world. You used to be mighty, right? Going to the breakdowns. Now you dealing with a transgender in the world. These things can happen. Brothers and sisters just say, falling out the truth is scary. No, man. I mean, it is scary falling out the truth, but it's way, most side, he's not just finna start having men fall out the truth. Certain men, they're gonna get destroyed. The Lord is gonna start killing men. That's what's gonna happen. It's not gonna be, oh nah, he fell out the truth. Now the Most High could kill you. You gotta fear the Lord, right? Sirach 18:27 says that wise man feareth in everything. In the day of sinning, he will be aware of offense. So a wise man, he's gonna fear in everything that he does. He's gonna walk on eggshells. Oh, I forgot my French. Oh, I didn't pray for an hour. Let me get this prayer up. The Most High could kill me. That's how you should be thinking in the last days. All right? Because let me get this in Matthew, right? The 24th chapter, the classic. Right? Matthew 24 and verse 7. Right? This is Matthew. I'm on verse 12. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So this is a prophecy, and it's come to pass, but it hasn't all the way been in full effect yet. The love of many is going to wax cold. You brothers and sisters got to expect that. In the truth, the love that men, because in the ancient world, we were on a different level. We were able to greet, right? Let me get this in Tobit, the 5th chapter. In the ancient world, we were able to see a brother. Oh, how you doing? How's you and your household? How's your wife doing? Your kids? Soon that's gonna be all over, right? You seeing a brother, hey, that's gonna be over with. That same brother that you was saluting, he gonna look at you in your eyes, and he gonna it's gonna be no food, and he gonna probably knock you up, all right, and take all your belongings. These are the days we're coming into, right? This is the book of Tobit, chapter 5. Right? It's the book of Tobit, chapter 5, and verse number 8. It says, Then he said unto him, Go and tarry not. So he went in and said to his father, Behold, I have found one which will go with me. Then he said, Call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he be a trusty man to go with thee. Right? So in the ancient world, we wanted to inquire, okay, what's your father? What house are you under? Right? Are you an Israelite? What's your father's name? It reads, and this is literally Tobit talking about this man. It says, so then he called them, and he came in, and they saluted one another. So this man came into Tobit's house, and guess what? Tobit saluted him. He said, "How are you doing, man?" It probably I don't really know you. You know what's so and so, right? And your modern day salute, like I said, would be, how about Shemel Shabrak. You would salute a brother, Shalom King, how you doing? So forth and so on. Or you sisters, might be a Shalom sis. Alright. It says what? Verse 10. Then Tobit said unto him, Brother, shew me of what tribe and family thou art. To whom he said, Doest thou seek for a tribe or family, or an hired man to go with thy son? Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, thy kindred and name. Then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Ananias the great, and of thy brother. Then Tobit said, Thou art welcome, brother. So Tobit, he said, hey, we family. He welcomed this man into his house. He said, we family. All right. The days like that, you can forget about it. Like I said, the brother you salute, the sister you salute, they might knock you upside the head and take your corn that you have. All right. Or they might take, you might have a Snickers bar in Jacob's Trouble. Guess what? Hey, they take it from you. That's because the love of many is gonna wax cold. Or let me get this in 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter. Men are gonna be betraying one another. Sisters, they're gonna be betraying one another, ratting you out, hitting you upside the head, right? This is the book. What I wanted. 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, right? 2nd Esdras 6 and 24. These are the times we coming into, right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. See that? So it's already prophesied to happen. It's prophesied that your own friend, the men that you labor with, you could be laboring with this man for 5 years. Y'all was cutting up the demons. Y'all was waking up the sheep. You sisters, you could have been with this sister at the feast day. Y'all cooking the meals. Y'all playing the music. Brothers playing spades, different games. It says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. See that? So guess what? They're going to become your enemy. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and 3 hours they shall not run. Meaning 3, a number of completion. It says, it's like, yeah, that's it on that. Right? But friends, they're going to fight one another like enemies. And those are some of the evils that's going to multiply. Right? Now, we're not going to go into literally every single in-depth evil because time will fail. Right? But if you haven't read 2nd Esdras, all right, the 16th chapter, the 15th chapter, the 9th chapter, the 6th chapter, right? It all goes in depth through the spirit, man. So you brothers and sisters got to continue to take heed to your spirit. Make sure you increasing. If you only prayed 5 times yesterday, try to pray 6 times the next day, right? If you sisters only fasted 1 time last week, try to go 2 times. Because the moment you start waxing worse and worse, these evil spirits, they're going to start to increase, and they're going to overtake you. Right? Let me get this classic in the book of Ezekiel. All right? It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, and verse number 6. Right? And brothers bring this out all the time. Right? This is Ezekiel 7 and 6. And end is come, that end is come. Right? And what I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, thus saith the Lord God, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. So the evils, they coming, man. Verse 6, and end is come, the end is come. And watcher for thee. So the end of the world is watching for you. These evil spirits, like I said again, they watching you. They know what time you go to. They know around what time you go to sleep, and they work on your mind and say, just lay down. The bed comfortable, right? You can just pray tomorrow when you wake up. You don't have to really pray before you go to sleep. Just relax. Go get some juice, some tacos. Just relax. They start to work on your mind. Next thing you know, you hop in the bed. You didn't pray before you went to sleep. These spirits, they know when you wake up in the morning. They say, you know what? You don't really have to wake up in the morning, right? You could just go about your day. Go take out the trash. They know what time you're going to work. These spirits, they watch you. Don't think they don't watch you. No, they watch you for you. These spirits is watching you every day. They know what level you is. Just like Satan. How did Satan know about Job? Right? Satan's walking to and fro in the earth. Right? These evil spirits, they're literally walking to and fro in the earth. Alright? So you brothers and sisters got to take that in mind. Right? So Lord willing, this video is edifying. Right? Giving all honor and glory to the Most High. Yahweh, Ba'ashima Mashiach, Umarak Yahushua. Lord willing, you continue to pray, read, fast, study, and do all you can to magnify the name of the Lord. Right? And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.